Very good evening to everyone. First, I would like to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to our distinguished guest, Honorable Dr. Frank Habineza, on behalf of Love World and the World Teen Parliament. It's truly an honor to have you with us today, sir. I would also like to warmly greet our teenage participants and audience members. We are excited to gather here for this exclusive World Teen Parliament masterclass on the topic, the importance of civic participation for teenagers. I am Thakur Pratap Singh, an MP at the Third World Teen Parliament, and on behalf of Love World and the World Teen Parliament, it is my great honor to host this session today. As you all know, Dr. Habineza has served as a former member of parliament in the Parliament of Rwanda, and his extensive experience in politics, administration, and war studies will undoubtedly provide us with invaluable insights. We are truly fortunate to have him here today, and I am confident that his perspective will inspire us and empower us to better understand our roles as active citizens. This session will last for approximately 60 minutes, so let's make the most of this learning journey. Without further delay, I warmly welcome you, sir, and invite you for the opening address. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much. So it's important to do all of that. So as I mentioned to you, I was very involved into all these processes when I was young, and I was very active in secondary school. Like I think, I don't know how you call it, maybe I was like 13 years old, and by 13 years old, I was in Scouts. I was in Scout movement. I was in Red Cross. By the time I was like 15, 16, actually, I became chairman of my Red Cross club at the school when I was 17. So you can understand that people trusted me becoming chairman of the school Red Cross club because I'd been involved for a long time. I was also in an environmental club, called it Wildlife Club. I think by around 15. So, and then with all those things, you get more and more exposed. And when I went to high school, I think I was getting to 18 there. And then I was in the Interact Club. That's the younger Rotarians. So young Rotarians teach you how to be of service to the society, where that you don't have to expect people to give, but also how can you do to serve others. So it's so important to be involved into this process because it teaches you humility, it teaches you to serve, what we call service above yourself, to think about others before you think about yourself. Because here in Rwanda, we have some negative feeling about the young people. Young people say that, what do I benefit from this? When you tell them, please get involved into this, ask, what is there for me? So this is a bad feeling for the younger people, that you want to get involved into something because you want to profit immediately. So it's a bad spirit. So don't get involved because you want to profit something. Get involved because you want to serve. Then when you serve, the profits will come, and the profits will come to you because you're already there. When you serve, when you are a good servant for the people, you will get privileges which will take you further. You can get a good car, you can get some money, some allowance, and so on, because you are serving. But if you go in asking for that, you may not get anything. And if you put your focus that you want to get some money from the organization or from the community government and so on, you will not be able to serve. So people will appreciate you when you put your service to others first. Yeah. So then people, they will see that you're important. And that importance will help you now in the future to become a big person, to become a minister, to become a parliamentarian, and so on, because you have built your journey. So I understand most of you, you are not yet, I think, in 20s yet. So you still have a good chance for now to prepare your future well, to be more involved in the civic administration, in the civic life, making sure that your voice counts, and also your vote. I first said voice, but then also the vote. Your vote counts. Your vote will count, because when you vote, people, they will see that you have grown up, and you ask them to be accountable, because we want to have accountable leadership, accountable government. Because we politicians, we come to tell you things. I'll give you water, I'll build for you a road, I'll give you good schools, and so on. So nice speeches during the campaigns. But then there's a problem of accountability afterwards. If you get elected, your people, you have to ask the people you elected, you promised us the road, where is it? You promised us to give us water, where is the water? You promised us to to build a good school here. Where is it? So you can be able to make the leaders accountable when you voted. Because if you didn't vote, they'll say, who are you? You say, me, I'm a voter, I voted for you. I have a right to ask you because you had my vote. So that way, you have respect. So this is a big importance of getting involved. But if you don't vote, and they come, they tell you things, and they go away, then you have no right to ask. Why do you ask them when you never participated? So you have to participate so you're able to make them accountable. And when the leaders, they know that they are being accountable, they will stop telling lies. They will be telling the truth. So then that will help you to live in a better country. So this is a big importance. To live in a better country, in a better environment, you have to participate in that. Yeah. If you want a good road, you have to participate into that. And you also need to, as educated people, because all of you are in your good education, you have to go there to the district offices. District, I don't know the structures. I don't remember the structures of the local administration in India, but you go to your district offices or local government offices, ask them about their plan. Some of them have what they call the district development plan. Read through it and then see what do they plan to do for next year. Do they have a budget? It's not a secret. The budget is a public document. Sometimes they even publish them in a gazette, but you don't read them. So if you can't find it in official, you can't find it on the website, go there. You say, I'm a student from this college or from this university or from this school. I need to see your plan for your district plan or municipal plan for this year for our area. What do you plan? Check it. Then when you have it, you have a right to go back to ask them, what did you do? You promised this, why did you do it? Then you have to explain to you what they did. Did they get the money? Yes, the government gives them money, but sometimes some of the politicians are corrupt. I think it's not in Africa alone, but also in everywhere. Some politicians, they give them money to do a school, they buy a car instead. But if no one asks them, they will continue doing that. So you need to make them accountable, to go and find out, read the government projects, government programs, read them. That's how you can make your government accountable, your local leaders accountable, and then you are becoming very important to the community, but also very important to yourself. You also feel important because getting involved into civic engagement helps to build our self-esteem. You know, we are human beings. You want to feel important. You want to feel valuable. And so that self-esteem grows as you are participating because you understand more. You know the leaders. You can find a mayor, you greet them, you ask them. So you are building your self-esteem, which will help you tomorrow when you stand for office. Then you already know the people. So I give you an example of myself. When I was in high school, when I was in an Interact Club, the young Rotarians. When I was in the Rotaract Club, I was able we used to go to what they call the International Conference Center. So in the International Conference Center, we used to meet ministers and members of parliament, and we were just high school students here. So when we had a chance to meet fellow students, ministers, members of parliament, some government leaders, and we could ask them questions, they could answer. Hey, you know, you feel important. You go back at school. I was studying in a boarding school. You go back to school when you feel you're a big person, you have been able to talk to the minister, the member of parliament, you have exchanged. And also, I don't know if when I was in India, I went to Taj Mahal Hotel in New Delhi. It's a very good hotel. I think it's a 7-star hotel. I don't know if you have been there, but also I like Chandigarh more. There are also very good hotels in Chandigarh, that's in Punjab. There are also good hotels in Gujarat and Mumbai and elsewhere, the Sheraton and so on. But when I was in International Conference Center, I was very young. I had not been to any good hotel like that. So we had a chance to have a very good food there, teas and what. So you have a chance to start experiencing this high-class life when you're still young, you know? When you're still young, how to interact, how to eat with people, how to talk with people, and so on. So when you go back to school, you feel that you have self-motivation, self-esteem is growing, which will help you in the future. So when I was running for government here and so on, I was not so scared of anybody because I had this chance of interacting with ministers, interacting with members of parliament, interacting with the army officers at my young age. So when I meet them now, if they try to threaten me, I say, who are you to threaten me? I'm already empowered. So you're already empowered from the young age. So in this empowerment, you build it now by your involvement. So then you feel that you cannot be scared by anybody. And then when I was also in Red Cross, when I was chairman also of Red Cross at high school, in a lower secondary, but also in high school. So in high school, I went to the headquarters of the National Red Cross Society. It's a big place with big people and so on. I was so confident talking to them, asking them to come to my school, and they came and they gave us training and so on. So you have that empowerment. You are not so scared. You feel you have the right. So these things of feeling you have the right, you have the obligation, you start now when you are involved. You are getting involved. You start getting involved from where you are, at your school, at your home, at your village. Then as you go on, your involvement grows and grows, then you build your esteem, which will help you to become a big person in the future. So those are some of the importances of civic participation for the youth. But more so, it's also important to have, of course, respect, because with education, we have to understand that we are young people, we need to respect the elders. I think cultures all over the world is very important. So you have to learn some skills, communication skills, to be able to talk to the other people. So how do we communicate? If you are going to talk to ministers or parliamentarians or the mayor or the village chief, he's much older than you, it's very respected by your parents and so on. So you need to learn how to use good communication. So when you are involved in civic engagement, you learn communication skills. This is very important. So communication skills will help you to avoid conflicts. So because you know how to communicate to older people or to senior people. So even sometimes you learn this at home, but sometimes when you are with peer pressure at school, and so sometimes we forget. So it's important to learn the communication skills. How do you address them? Give them their titles, their honors, and so on. Express your opinion in a peaceful way. They will understand it. But if you go to express your opinion in a violent manner or in an abusive manner, they will not hear you, and even they may ask police to arrest you. So it's important to learn how to communicate properly. But also, I need to tell you about politics of nonviolence, because for me, I'm a great student of Gandhi. Gandhi is one of my heroes. I even went to the Gandhi's home in Ahmedabad. So I've been there to Gandhi's home 2 times in Ahmedabad in Gujarati, because Gandhi is my hero. So I learned from him the politics of nonviolence. So it's very important to use politics of nonviolence. So you learn this. It will help you to question, to challenge, but not using violent means, not using violent language, because the way we communicate and the way we act can cause problem to us. So important that you use nonviolence. Even though I'm saying that I'm a student of Gandhi, but I also read a school strike. Maybe this I tell you, I don't know. You know what strikes? A strike, I think you understand. So sometimes there are some problems at school. I think there was bad food. We are living in a boarding school. They didn't give us food. They were giving us one type of food every day. And it was called, I don't know, you have maize meal. I don't know if you have maize meal in India. So it was maize meal with beans every day. We said, this is impossible. And there was no cleaning of our classes and so on. So it was, we're living in a dirty place. We said, this we cannot accept. So I asked my fellow students that we have to complain officially. So we said, the strike I organized, it was not a violent strike. I asked my fellow students that today, let no one go to eat food. We are not going to eat that food because it's bad food. So we talked to all the boys and we'll talk to the girls, and the girls, they all stayed in their dormitories, and the boys stayed in their dormitories. Lunchtime, we did not go to eat. Even in the evening, we refused to go to eat. And the school administration was forced to ask, why are the students refused to eat? Yeah, this is non-virus action. We refuse to eat the food. Keep your food. Because the food is bad, you don't want to change it. So finally, they came to say, who was the leader? We went forward, they told them, yes, this is the problem, we want the food to be changed. And finally, they accepted. Then they started to give us good food, and they started changing. We started at least eating 4 different foods in a week. So this is non-violence action. It's very important. So sometimes it's difficult to communicate to these people, to the leaders. You need to do some non-violence action, which can make them listen. But make sure that you don't go to break the windows and breaking chairs and so on. Because when you do that, they'll expel you from the school, and then you may lose your future. You understand? So you can express your anger by nonviolent action. So I request you to be students of Gandhi, like me. I'm a student of Gandhi. Yes, yeah. So I don't know, I can speak too much, but maybe I'll leave you a chance to also ask me some questions and I can answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful address on the importance of civic participation for teens. The way you covered all the key points and aspects truly resonates with us, and we feel fortunate to learn from your experiences and expertise. Your education and interests have provided invaluable perspectives that will undoubtedly benefit everyone over here. Now, I would like to open the floor to questions from the teenagers. I'll be calling names, and once called, please unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and ask your question. And to make this session even more interactive, we'll also take questions from the audience. So everyone be ready with your queries. We want to ensure everyone gets a chance to participate. So let's begin. The first question comes from Dhanraj Dheeraj, a 10th grader from United Arab Emirates. His question is, what strategies would you recommend to make civic engagement more appealing and accessible to younger generations?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the strategies, I've mentioned them. First of all, the first one is get involved from your young age. Do something where you are. If you're at school, do something, get involved in the clubs at school, or if they're not there, create them. For me, I have my certificates here, maybe I didn't bring them to you. I started 3 clubs at school, which were not there. Because when I went to high school, my high school did not have Red Cross Club. So I initiated it, I started it there. They did not have Wildlife Club, Club for Protection of the Environment. I started it there. They didn't have a writers club. I became the coordinator of the school magazine. So those are things, you see something is important, it's not there, create it. You talk to the administration, you create it, and people will join you. If it is there, something like Interact was there, I joined them. What was not there, I started it. So this you can do. You do something which makes you start getting involved and participate. Don't wait for others to do things. You can also do something. I started a political party in Rwanda. I had those visions that I want to be a political leader, to be a president of Rwanda. How will I do that? I said I had a vision to make the country beautiful. My country, there were problems of environmental degradation. People were cutting down trees. People were doing bad things, throwing things into the water. I said, you know what? I'm going to start a political party. I was very young, by the way. I think I was like 26 years old. And it started a political party, the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda. Me, you see, maybe you're not seeing my photo, but you can get my photo elsewhere. Yeah. So this, you start it, you do it. You don't wait for others. There were other parties, but I said, no, those parties are not serving my vision. So I said, I'm going to do it myself. So you do it yourself. And people will understand. It's not easy, of course. I'm not saying that it's easy. It's difficult, it's tough, but it's possible. So this is the process, the strategies. The other strategy I mentioned, non-violence action. It's very important. Whatever you want to do, use non-violence. It's bad to use violence. Use better communication skills. Learn how to communicate. Because if you communicate badly, people will misunderstand you. You may have a very good idea, but if you speak it badly, no one will listen to you. And people, the old people, they are so threatened. They are always threatened by the younger people. You have to remember that. They don't want to leave the stage. And they know their time is coming. So when they see young people questioning them, they get threatened, they get scared. So you come to them in the polite way, they don't threaten them, and then find a way of how you can repress them through peaceful means. So if you come violently, they will fight you back, and they will not be able to go anywhere. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was like really amazing to get your insights on that query. Next question comes from Faizah Fatima. Faizah, please unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and then proceed with the question.
I am
Yes,
Faizah Fatima, student of MS Education Academy, Hyderabad, India. My question is, what impact does civics participation have on mental health and self-esteem in teens?
Okay, understand, yes, yeah. Exactly. The impact I mentioned about self-esteem. So civic engagement, civic participation helps to build our self-esteem. Self-esteem is something inside you where you feel you are valuable, where you feel you are important. This one is not given to you by your parents or by whatever. The parents can give you encouragement and so on, but you must feel it yourself that I am really a person, I'm worthy, you feel I'm worthy, I'm valuable, I can make it. So when you are getting involved into civic participation, this helps to build your esteem, and this goes back to your brain, your mental health. So you feel you are good, you are important, you are not threatened by people. So if you don't get involved now, it makes you weak. You lose your, you get inferiority complex, the inferiority complex here. So you feel you are inferior to others. People talk to you, you feel you are small, you feel you are useless, you feel that your voice does not count, even if I say something, nothing will happen. So it makes you feel low, and that affects your mental health. And sometimes they go to elections, you don't want to go to elections because you don't think you can change anything. So it's affecting you. And that way, if you don't get involved and you are affecting your mental health, then it can cause you problems. Of course, like people can even commit suicide when they feel they are useless or worthless. Yeah, but if you are involving yourself, and sometimes you get encouragement, people say, "Oh, go ahead, you are good, you are wonderful." Then it builds your superiority complex. Now, which is opposite from the inferiority. So you feel kind of superior, you feel kind of important, you feel that you can make it, and you feel you associate yourself with big dreams, and also you have to read good books and so on. So it builds your mental health, you feel strong, and you can avoid distress, and you can even be a counselor for others who are not able to do it. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. It was really insightful to hear from you about this, because believing in oneself is of utmost importance. We should just invest in ourselves, and the mental problems just vanish away. Now, the next question comes from Fatima Mir. Fatima, please unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and then proceed with the question.
Good evening, everyone. This is Fatima Mir, currently in 9th standard from Radiant Public School, Jammu and Kashmir. And my question is, what specific benefits do teens gain from engaging in civic participation, and how does early involvement shape their development and future engagement in democratic processes?
Yeah, the first benefit is what I mentioned about the self-esteem. You feel you are important. But two, also, when you get involved, you are part of the decision-making, or the decisions that are taking place, you are part of the decision-making process. So if you sit in a meeting, let's say school board, you give your ideas and the school accepts your ideas and they implement. Let's say if you say the food is bad and they change it, you feel important because your idea has been accepted. So that's the direct benefit. You get the results from your actions. You get good results from your suggestions. And then if you continue getting involved, then of course you can also be part of the local government or national government. Of course, there will be money. You get salary, you get paid, you get a good car, good job. And I would like to tell you that also you get connections. This is very, very important. You get connections from these interactions. When you are getting involved into the civic engagement, as I've mentioned, different processes, people recognize you that you have the capacity to read, leadership capacity. You have communication skills. You have a good heart. And then people can recommend you in the future for a good job because people know you. I would say this, that when I was very involved in high school, I got good recommendations. People would say, "Oh, I used even to write in the national newspapers," because people knew that this is someone who is there. And even when I finished university here in Rwanda, do you know what? I didn't mention this to you. I had, before I started a political party, I started an NGO. NGO is a non-profit association at university, which I first registered at university level, and I got funding from America. And we planted trees at school. I'm one of the first people in 1999, 2000, who got a mobile phone at university. That was a big thing. No one had mobile phones in 2000. I had one of the first phones at a university. And that was something of pride. And then also we had some money because we got funding, we planted the trees, and then we had some activities. So then from that association was called Rwanda Wildlife Clubs. You can find it on the internet, but now they changed the name to Rwanda Environmental Conservation Organization. Finally, I left it when I went to politics, but the Rwanda Wildlife Clubs, the activities I did are still there. So that organization made me famous, and I got contacted by the government. We made some projects for the government, the province. Like you said, Hyderabad, Fatima, the first Fatima said, I've been to Hyderabad, to your province. Like if the whole province, the governor, you call them state minister, is it state minister? Chief minister, the chief minister contacted me and gave me a project to make 500,000 trees for the province. And I made them and we got money from that. So you see, this was big thing from getting from chief minister because of the association I had. Then also, when I finished university, I got appointed as personal assistant to the Minister of Lands, Forestry, Water, and Mines. This was a big ministry. So I was like minister's advisor, chief of the minister's office at the age of 25 or something like that. I was so young because of what I did. So this the example I'm trying to tell you, that when you are involved, it promotes you. People promote you. I got nominated in a minute. President of the Republic was seeing my name. I was a younger person. They had to search about me. So because someone has noticed you of what you are doing. So when you start now, it will give you a chance of getting a better job in the future. It can give you a chance to get a scholarship. It can give you a chance, if you want to have a dream, like to go to United Kingdom or to America, because of the context, like Rotaract, I mentioned about Interact. I don't know the ages, you have different age groups here. So if you go in Rotaract at university or Interact at secondary school, if it's not there, create it. You go in Rotary when you finish school. These things give you connections to big people. And then people who have money, people have businesses, people have jobs, and so on. So these are the opportunities. So it's not just mental health or what, or self-esteem, but also it helps you to prepare for your future. And also, you can get your future wife or your future husband because of getting involved.
So now, as we dive into the questions from our audience, I would like to pose one to you, sir, that reflects the current landscape of civic engagement among teenagers. So the question goes like, if you were a teenager in today's digital age who is frustrated with the pace of change, then how would you turn that frustration into a positive action? Please guide the teenagers on this.
Yeah, well, the young people or the youth who have a lot of what we call negative energy. So we have a lot of negative energy, a lot of ideas, but the problem we have is most of our ideas, we keep them there in the bed or in where we talk, nothing. We talk too much, but do nothing. So first thing, make sure, turn your ideas, when you get good ideas, write them onto a piece of paper, first thing. The ideas, what you think, I want this changed, I want this changed, I want this to be done, write it down. Once you write down your ideas, then you don't forget them. In a small book like a diary or something, now we have computers, you can even write them on the computer, put them there. Then I invite your friends to discuss about these ideas, discuss about this issue, this problem you have in the group. And then from there, propose solutions from you or from others. You have the solutions. Once you have a common stand, then you can take it higher. So this is how we can use our negative energy into positive energy and be able to be constructive and develop our press. But if you have ideas, you keep them in your head, you don't do anything, actually they will affect you. You just be quarreling to yourself. Well, people go on the road speaking to themselves. It's not good to talk to yourself. Good to have your ideas, put them there, discuss them, and then if it is for change of the state or whatever, inform those who are concerned about it. And better to use also writing. This is also important. Writing your ideas in the form of a formal letter. So if you want to communicate to the government or local leaders, put it in writing. Don't just speak. Write it down and sign. These people in power, they fear written documents. So if you write it, it's good. But another tip, I tell you, I don't know if you have journalist students, because for me, I've been a journalist before. Make sure you talk to the newspaper people, the journalists. Make sure that your issue, you inform it to the media, the people on radio, let them talk about it. But most importantly, the people in the newspapers, because ministers, they read the newspapers every day. The Times of India, they read them. Radio, they listen, but most of us politicians don't have much time to listen to radios. But it's good to be on radio because the people in the villages, they listen much more on the radio. But when you write, if you make sure that something is written in the newspaper, your ideas, and they're also spoken on radio, on TV, and then you give interviews, you become a national figure in a small period of time, you're already known and you become a commentator on programs. So this is how we make change.
Thank you, sir. Now the next question comes from Ayesha Rafath. Ayesha, please unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and then proceed with the question.
Greetings everyone, I am Ayesha Rafath, an MP at the 3rd World Teen Parliament from MS Education Academy, Hyderabad, Telangana, India. And my question is, from your perspective as a former parliamentarian, how can we ensure that teens not only understand the importance of civic participation, but also feel motivated and equipped to actively contribute to their communities and influence policy decisions?
Okay. I hope I've understood the question. Well, I'll tell you, as I mentioned, that politicians, they fear the younger people because young people have a lot of energy. So we find that most times they don't want young people to issue their voices. And but in Rwanda, the government has put up a press whereby young people can have a voice. We have what we call the National Youth Council, which brings together the young people, and they can also elect 2 members of parliament from the Youth Council. So this is a structure they have put there. But I would say that even though they are there, still they don't really represent all the ideas of the young people, you know, because they become part of the government and they sometimes forget those who elected them. Yeah, so it's important that you raise your voices, I've mentioned, through different channels, through the newspapers, through the radios, that's the media in general, and writing letters to the Prime Minister. You can write a letter to the Prime Minister. And I'm sure the Prime Minister may not read it, but the advisor will read it. But if you write once, twice, they don't then make open letter. There's also a technique we call open letter. So the open letter is making sure it goes to the media. So the problems you have in the village, problems you have at school, problems you have in the community, open letter strategy. So this way, those people who don't want to hear you, they will hear you by force. Actually, you must force yourself there because no one is there to give you the table. You have to take yourself there to give yourself the table. This is the thing. I don't know if you get it. They want to block you. They want to block the ideas because they say the youth, you are for the future. And you have to say, we the youth, we are for now. The future is there for us, but now we have to get involved now. If you are for now, because we're living now, we're not living in the future, we're living right now. So you make sure you force yourself there through diplomatic, non-violent means. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now the next question comes from Nabia Haneem. Please unmute yourself and you can pose your question. Due to some technical glitches, she is not available with us. I'll be asking the question on her behalf. Basically, she wants to know, why is it important for teenagers to be involved in civic participation even before they can vote? Like before the legal age of voting, why should teenagers do early involvement in civic participation?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I think I mentioned it. It's important when you start early. Like I mentioned, I was so active when I was 13, 14. That it's like you're preparing your future. So you don't wait until you are 18 that you start. You start early. When you start early, it's important for you because it builds your self-esteem. It builds your capacity, mental capacity. It builds your debating skills. You learn how to debate, to talk to people. It builds your communication skills. Also get involved in the debating club. I think you have debating clubs at school. Get involved there in the debating clubs, make debates there. So these things, when you start early, even in primary schools, people, if you can, get involved from there. It's so good. If you stand in the local government of the school in the primary school, I don't know how you call them in India, but in Rwanda we have the first 6 years, that's primary school. Then you have second 3 years, that's lower secondary, and the last 3 years, that's high school. In Uganda, also they have 7 years primary, 4 years lower secondary, it's called ordinary level, and then 2 years high school, which is called high level. So then university. So if you get involved from the local government in the schools there, you start campaigning, you start standing, you become your class leader, school prefect or school leader, or head prefect, and so on. That is important. It's building your capacity of it, because you are all the time you're having problems from the people are the students, you are solving the problems. So when they become a problem solver, and you're also getting your problems taken to their higher authorities. So that's meaning you're like a local parliament, you're taking them to another parliament. And then likewise, so to get, and you get noticed, you also get respect from your peers at school. So basically, it's so important that it builds you. You get more mature, politically mature. You learn more how to communicate, learn more how to behave, and then you grow up with it. By the time you reach a voting age, you're already what we call a good citizen of the world.
I totally agree with you, sir. First of all, we must like get experience, and then we should be like, we'll be able to make some good decisions in the near future. So now the next question comes from Tehzeeb Kabir. Tehzeeb, kindly unmute yourself and introduce yourself, then you can continue with the question.
Thank you for the opportunity to let me speak today. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, sir. My question is, how will civic participation benefit teens in the near future?
Yes, I talked about you going to your local government, asking them about their district plan. And then, so the role of this is that you want to get involved into the policy making, because the plans of local government, they may have plans of building schools, plans of making good roads, or plans of building a hospital, or some health centers, or plans of, you know, but those are policy decisions. So when you are involved, you go ask them, this like you are also asking them for accountability. Accountability, what have they done to what they promised, or what is there? Because sometimes you don't know what's happening. So if you are involved in civic engagement, you go and ask them. So you are making, first of all, your leaders to be accountable, but it's not just them to be accountable, but you want them to be able to deliver what they promised, because they promise a lot of things during elections and they don't deliver them. So don't wait until it's elections time. Go now, just after elections, ask them. If you wait after 5 years, it's too late, nothing will have been done. Go now, ask them. You said to us in the last elections, you are going to build for us a hospital. What is the plan? When will it be done? So already you are participating in policy making. And these skills will help you later if you run for government or for parliament to know how to, what you call making the government oversight, making sure that the government is accountable, making sure the institutions are working, fighting corruption and so on. So you start from the early age, it helps you. But even at school, I've told you how I read the peaceful strike at my school. I was able to change things at my school, yeah, when things were not good. So this is how you start getting involved at early age, and then it can make a policy, because a policy is something which is there to benefit the public. That's what we call policy. It's politics, but policy, but the government has policy documents which are there, but sometimes no one knows what's there, and sometimes no one is evaluating them, and sometimes very good documents, nothing happens at all. And 5 years later, people go to evaluate when it's too late.
Sir, next we have Pragyan Raj Pandey. Pragyan, kindly unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and then proceed with the question. So preferably he's facing some technical issues. No worries, I'll pose the question on his behalf. Basically, Pragyan is from Nepal, and he's asking, how can teens be more effectively engaged in civic participation, especially in countries where political awareness among youth is comparatively lower than the others?
Yeah, it's a challenge. Yeah, it's a challenge. But as I said, that we start from where we are, from school, but we also have now social media. So social media is something I did not mention about. It's a tool we can use. You can start a discussion group on Facebook, and Facebook has no borders, and the youth in your region, you can even make a group on Facebook for your community. You know, you can you invite people you know in that who are on Facebook, but or you send the invitation for people in that region to join. So you can make discussion groups on Facebook. You can also use Twitter, is also good. When I was young, we used to have what we call MSN communities. I don't know if they are still there. MSN communities, we used to have discussion groups on, it used to be like, like on Google, I think, but it was MSN communities. So from people from America, UK. So we had a group called Earth Lovers who could talk about the Earth from all over the world. So groups like that. So, but now we have Facebook. Many people have Facebook. We have Twitter. You have Instagram. Instead of going to see photos on Instagram, you can have some discussions there. And people also use Telegram. Even Telegram you can have. But it's the most common one is Facebook and Twitter. And Telegram, you can make a group on Telegram. That one I know. But Facebook is, we have even groups, different groups on Facebook. So this is where political awareness is still lower. Use the social media. And then the young people, then finally what you're discussing in the cross, you can have opening groups or closed groups. So closed groups where people who are not part of the group should not come to join the discussion. But you can make them opening groups where even others can join the discussions. So that way, the discussion goes wider. So the whole of Nepal will know there's something happening. If you start up a discussion on, let's say, forestry, burning, we don't have forest. Do you have? I think you have forest in Nepal. Yeah. There's maybe people are cutting down the trees and so on. There's a problem. You start a threat, and people, the government will be the first to know because the government has a lot of intelligence organs who are monitoring everything. So they will know, and maybe the good ones will try to solve the problem. So you make an impact immediately because government will be listening and will be following what you are doing. So just remember, don't be violent. Just remember, use good words, use proper communication. So remember that the people, they're scared of the youth. So if you use bad language, they will come to arrest you. They may even call you a terrorist. So that's yeah. They can say you're a terrorist or you are what? You're gangs or what? So if you use good communication, you have good intentions. No, you won't have a problem with the government. So you can use that as a strategy where the civic engagement is lower.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, as we move further, there is yet another question from the audience. It urges you to kindly share a time when youth activism in Rwanda led to real policy changes.
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, when I was still a young person, a youth at university, I got notice when I had an environmental association. I was called by the government to participate in the making of the environmental policy for the country, also for the land policy, and also for the forestry policy. At that age, I was able to put my ideas in the forestry policy of the country, land policy, and environmental policy. So that's the way how the youth, but also had my other youth groups we were working with. We set up things to do with unity and reconciliation in the country. Other people carried it up forward. I was also in the Pan-African movement. It's a group of people who are promoting Pan-Africanism, and now it's a big organization in the country. So we started some small things like that, and people appreciated and took them further. And I would say now, for me, I set up a political party as a younger person, as I mentioned, and I went to parliament. I have other parliamentarians now of my party in parliament, also the Senate. So we are contributing to policy changes. A lot of my personal ideas have been accepted by the government and have caused change to the government, not just the government, benefited the people of Rwanda, and they're still benefiting from my ideas. So this is how young people, the youth, you can have ideas and create policy changes. Even now I have other policies that I'm proposing that can make a good change for the people of Rwanda, but not only Rwanda, but also people of Africa and also people of the world.
Thank you so much, sir. Now, the next question comes from Aasim Ahmed Khan. Aasim, kindly unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and then go ahead with the question.
I'm Aasim Ahmed Khan of 10th grade, MS Petty School, Hyderabad, Telangana, India. So my question for you is, with the rise of social media and digital activism, how can teens leverage these platforms for effective civic participation?
So yes, thank you. I think I've mentioned about social media previously. Now you need also to have proper training now in usage of social media. So the people who have skills how to use it. You can also, like Facebook, they have what you call like promotional articles. You can make an article, but you promote it, you pay some money to promote it and make it go to everyone in India. It's very easy. You make your post on Facebook or Twitter, you pay some money to Twitter, to Facebook, you promote it. It's a promotional articles. It goes everywhere like a virus. People will get it. So this is how social media can be so good. So as long as you're sure that your idea is good, you promote it, It's not so much money, maybe $10 or so, depending on the widest you have. And you can also use a period. Maybe you want it to be spoken for the whole month in the whole country. You can make a target audience. Even on Twitter, you target your audience. Yeah. So sometimes also have robotics. These are the people, I think you have people who are studying technology here. So you can use some robotics tools that also can help to target people you want in this area. Let's say I want people in Hyderabad or in Punjab or in Mumbai or Nepal. Nepal is a country. Sorry, yeah, I was talking about the state. If you want a specific state or New Delhi, you want all the people in New Delhi to know it's possible to do it on social media, because almost 90% of people living in New Delhi, they have internet, they have Facebook, they have Twitter, so they'll read it. And these tools, robotic tools or promotion tools, they force people to read. It comes on someone's phone. Someone will read it even though he doesn't want to read it. So that's how we can use social media to promote our ideas. Sorry if I'm putting into this technology, but it's things you can learn and you can get more skilled. Maybe you're more skilled than me on that. Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time to answer all the questions in such detail and in the best way possible, I must acknowledge. You just answered everything tailored to the teenagers' inquiries. Your insights have truly enlightened us throughout this session. As we conclude this incredible masterclass, I would like to invite you to share your closing statement, something you would like the teenagers to take away exclusively from today's discussion.
Thank you very much. It's really been a great honor for me to speak to you. I'm really so happy that I've been able to address you from different countries, and even India is a continent. It's not just a country, it's a very big country. Yeah, so I'm so happy to talk to you, and I'm also happy to talk to you another time. And I hope the key message you take from here, get involved from now. Don't hear people tell you that you get involved later. The time is now, it's not tomorrow. So, and get involved where you are. Don't wait to get involved when you're in government. If you're at school, get involved. At home, get involved. And remember, respect your parents. That's a big commandment we have from God, respecting of our parents. Yeah. You convince them. If you have an idea, it's also good to convince your parents of what you are going to put up on social media, because it would be bad for your parents to hear that, hey, your son or your daughter is saying this on Facebook, and they don't know. So you start from home, tell them, you know, Papa, Mama, I have this idea, my brother. So then if you are in school, tell your school friends, and then involve the school administration, so that they don't get surprised. And remember always to be like me, to be a student of Gandhi. Using nonviolent action is the most effective way, because the people in power, they are so scared. They have guns, they have prisons and so on. They will not arrest you if you use non-violence. But if you use violent language, avoid violence in your language, violent actions. If you want to make a demonstration, make a peaceful demonstration. Don't make a violent demonstration. That's part of communication. Yeah. And lastly, use technology, social media. You can pay, you can make as a group, contribute some money if you want something to be heard, pay Facebook some money to promote your articles or your views, or Twitter, and then to be heard. So then use traditional media. I mentioned newspapers, radios, and TVs, and you become celebrities, and you make it. I wish you all the best in your future.
Thank you so much, sir. I must take a moment to acknowledge your efforts in explaining everything so clearly and for addressing each question with such depth. Moreover, I commend the teenagers for their excellent research and thoughtful questions they posed today. We have learned so much, gaining invaluable insights into the importance of civic participation for teens. As you leave, sir, I encourage the teenagers to carry forward the knowledge and inspiration gained from your insights. I'm sure that they must now learn how to use the resources effectively, how to convince people, and how ultimately they can shape policy making in the particular region. It's clear that everyone here has benefited immensely. I also want to take a moment to appreciate all the participating teenagers, because their effective and active engagement and enthusiasm throughout the session, especially on a weekend, demonstrates their dedication to the World Teen Parliament and the fruitful discussions we have here. Thank you all for your participation. I myself sincerely thank the World Teen Parliament and Blub World for giving me this incredible opportunity to host you all today and for organizing such an enriching session. I must say this platform has truly enhanced our knowledge, allows us to explore new perspectives and connect with inspiring leaders and aspire towards greater civic engagement. Thank you, everyone, our expert faculty, Honorable Dr. Frank Habineza, the participating teenagers, and the audience. Wishing you all an amazing weekend ahead. Namaste.